Hey guys, it's your favorite gold miner, prospector, and geologist, Jeff Williams. And today, I got you back out here at the caves. That's right. Remember last week we saw those caves on the drone shots? And I'm like, what is that? And some of you wrote in, you said, I saw something in there. Now, if you haven't seen that video, I'm gonna leave a link right here. That way you can watch it and see what all this is about. Because I wanna know what's up there. And I know you wanna know what's up there. So we're doing a follow-up. I'm gonna head back up to those caves and see if we can find any treasure that's buried in there off of the old Spanish Trail. Ooh, so let's get into it. Remember I was telling you about how crazy the weather is? Last week it was snowing and now it's 90 degrees out here. Are you kidding me? But that's all right because we got to find out what's in these caves because I know there's got to be some kind of treasure or a map or something around here and we're gonna find it. But I'm not gonna do anything until you smash that like button. Smash it hard! That's our little arrow. That's right, pointing up to those caves. Like I said, somebody put this trail out here for a reason. I don't know why, but they did. Because the caves that we found last week, wasn't much to it. But you saw what was on the drone footage. There's some really nice caves. So we're gonna go check it out. Yeah, here's that trail. Here's that trail. This is obviously done by hand. Oh yeah, see the birds over there flying in and out? That's pretty cool. Well, I'm still amazed. Last week, it was 50 degrees out here. And up on the mountain, it was 34. And right up here, it's 93. What a huge difference in temperature. And that really makes a difference when you're out here climbing around in the hills. Yeah, I know, I can hear it from here. Just stop all that chin wagging, get up there. Because we want to know, and I want to know, but geez Louise, you guys are a tough crowd. Ay, ay, ay. Oh yeah, I remember this. There's a cave there, waterfall there. Make sure nobody's living in here first. Hello? Anybody home? Nope, nobody's home. Oh, here's that fun limestone. It'll cut you to ribbons. Oh yeah, look at this. Here's that water. Oh, what's in there? What's in there, Bubba? What's in here? Nice little waterfall, look at that. Yeah, but there's no gold here. This is all limestone. Not really gonna find gold in limestone. Most of the time you'll find what's called a replacement deposit in limestone. That's usually your copper, zinc, silver, lead, things like that you're gonna find in limestone. Yeah, don't fall on this limestone. Don't you fall on that limestone. Now look at this, look. You see these deep grooves? See that in the limestone? This is where carbonic acid, which is basically rainwater and carbon dioxide, where they mix together. It's a weak type of acid. And you can see where it's slowly dissolving this limestone. Just like if you were to pour water over a salt block. See that? and it'll dissolve it out. This is the same mechanism involved in creating caves underground. The limestone is dissolved away by the carbonic acid, and then over millions of years you have these huge underground cave systems that continue to grow every year. So, but this stuff, man, whoo, it'll cut you to shreds. Hey, look, I see something right down there. Let's go check it out. That's a can. This is weird. Look, this is like a fortification. See that? If you were to get down inside, this would be a perfect fortification. It's like a little tiny outcropping that's got all these little peekaboo holes in it. Yeah, there's the bottom of it right there. That's pretty cool, huh? All right, let's take a look at this can real quick. This can. That is pretty cool. What would it be doing over here, though? I don't know. Let's go find out. Look at that monker up there. That's cool. We got to go check that out. In fact, there's caves all along this ridge. Oh yeah, that looks cool. That looks really cool. How do we get in it though? Guess I'm just gonna have to climb up. Yeah, I'm gonna have to climb up this limestone. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. But there's no boxes in it. No boxes. Ooh, ooh. That's cool. Oh wow, that goes up plenty far. That is not bad. Look at that. That one goes all the way through. All right, we'll check it out. Well, I'm gonna take a lunch break because I gotta have my num-nums. How many of you guys like beef jerky? Not bad, huh? Teriyaki is the best. If it's soft. While I'm eating my lunch, I'm going to tell you a story about another treasure that we hunted years ago. This was a treasure that was stolen off the Gia, which is an old steamship down on the Colorado River. As the story goes, the ship would go up and down the Colorado River all the time, dropping off supplies and picking up gold bullion from the mines. One of the mines they were picking it up from was in El Dorado Canyon, the Cheticuk mine. Well, they would pour really crude bars there, and then they would run it down the canyon and get picked up, and then they would take it down the river, and then they would ship it off on rail and then have it purified. As the steamboat was coming down the Colorado River, right about where Cottonwood Cove is, the ship was making a stop, and this gentleman jumped on the ship and robbed them as many gold bars and nuggets he could carry, which was from the miners up in El Dorado Canyon. He had 2 horses with him besides his own horse. From there, he rode straight west, and he was headed for California. Well, he had to go through Searchlight, and then from Searchlight, he went up to the town of Crescent. Well, of course, a posse had followed him shortly thereafter, and in no time, they picked up his trail. Well, they knew that since he had 2 horses that were heavily packed with gold, he would have to make stops along the way at the watering holes. So they just simply went to all the watering holes. Well, as they got to Crescent, there's a spring there. When they got there, they found a dead horse. So they realized, okay, one of his horses died from exhaustion, so the other horse couldn't possibly carry all those gold bars. So they figured it had to be somewhere in the vicinity. So they went looking. Well, they didn't find anything, but years later, 2 small schoolboys who were playing it by the springs dug up what they thought was a heavy bar of soap. And they showed it to their father, and the father instantly recognized that it was a gold bar. So he packed his family up and moved to California. Well, the reason why they look like bars of soap is because back then they would cast them in molds that they would make their bars of soap from. So it would look about the same size. So people have been looking for the rest of that treasure, and we went out looking for it. We found the location and we found the spring, and it looks something like this.
aquí indica que puede haber algo. Ojalá que sea de otra manera, pero ojalá que mejor sea oro. Pero como la historia dice que aquí escondieron el oro y plata y no sé qué más, pues hay que tratar, pero con mucho cuidado.
All right, I'm gonna finish up lunch and then we're gonna head over to those bigger caves over there. I'm not really seeing anything in here and it looks too hard to climb up into, so that one over there looks really big, so we're gonna give that a shot. All right, let me take one last look, make sure there's nothing hiding in there. The spiders everywhere. All right. Man, I'm glad we got a little cloud coverage, because if not, that sun would be killing me. This craggly old limestone. Oh, it's got some rocks piled up in it. I wonder why they did that. Let's go take a look, Bubba. See that? Yeah, they piled rocks up on that one. Oh yeah, look at that. Looks like something's living in this one. What the heck? Nice. See where they've been sleeping? Right there. Okay, let's take a look. Nothing in there. I don't see anything. Do you? No. That's pretty cool. Oh, there's a piece of metal. Look at that. What the heck is that? I don't want to stick my hand in there. Oh, cool. Check it out. It's an old horseshoe. I thought it was just a piece of metal. Now that's cool. Now that's cool. An old horseshoe. Or maybe it came off a pack mule. Or maybe they were bringing up bags of gold of your gold. And this is off a pack mule. Oh, you know, that's got to be good luck right there. Nice. Wow. All right, we're going to check the rest of these caves out. Ooh, my spidey senses are tingling. You know, these caves got to have a treasure in it somewhere. I got to have that treasure. That's odd. Looks like somebody put a rock over this hole. You see that? It don't go nowhere. All right, we'll keep moving over. There's those bigger caves. I tell you what, it's a hot one. That looks cool. That looks pretty cool. It's got daylight coming through it. See that? It's got light coming through it. That's cool. And it looks like somebody's been digging. See all that? Wow, what is that? Look at that. It's a huge pocket. They don't go in though. This one does. That's cool. All right, I'm gonna check around and see if I see anything. All right, let's go have a look. Let's have a look, Bubba. See what we got. This would be a perfect place for our fireplace too. But I don't see any burn marks. See a whole lot of brush. Whole lot of brush. Let's take a look in there. I'm not gonna go climbing up through there, but yeah, look at that. That's a perfect place for a fireplace. It's right up in there. Nice. That is cool. Oh, there's anything in here. Anything in here. Oh, cool. Look at that. Look. Look at that. Wow. Now you don't see that every day. I think that's the top of a lantern. That is cool. Nice. That means somebody was staying out here. Now that's what I'm talking about. Isn't that cool? That is the top to a lantern. I've seen those many times. Cool beans, that means people are staying out here. All right, we'll check around into these other caves. See if we can see anything. But I'm not gonna do anything until you smash that like button. Smash it hard! Ooh. What's in this cave? Oh, what's in this cave? Ah, this ain't a cave at all. Nah, I saw the rocks piled there, so I figured it would go in, but I don't see anything. Oh, aha! I stepped on a can. Hear it? Nah, oh, get off of there. Oh, that looks like an old pepper box. Yeah, that's what I heard. That is cool. Yeah, somebody was definitely living up here. And if they're living up here, that means they got a stash somewhere. Ooh, we gotta find the stash. Ooh, but I tell you what, it's getting hotter and hotter. What the heck is going on? One week it snows, next week it's burning my butt off. I know, right? I might stay in this cave tonight. It's a nice cave. Huh? You want to come stay with me overnight out here? I bet you would, huh? I bet you wouldn't after you saw an unspeakable out here. Uh-huh. That's what I thought. I didn't find anything else. So we're going to look around at these rocks or something, see if we can find a wooden box. That's what you want to see. So we're going to leave that here and move on. I might have lunch again, but man, it's getting warmer and warmer. But this is really cool, huh? That's right. You never know what you're going to find when you're walking out in the desert. And from up here, I can see the old trails. We might hit the trails. Well, maybe once the sun goes down, but then you got to worry about the unspeakables. You know, the things we can't speak of. Nice. You can see where the burros have been hanging out here. There's another spot up there. See that? Be a great place for a fireplace. Look at that. Oh, it's nice and cool over here. I like that. I like that. I like that. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Look at that. Whoa. Yeah, you could hide there and see if people are coming so that you could take a shot. I mean, so that you could wave hello to them. Ah, nice. Ooh, big pack rat nest. What's up in there? You guys see anything? I don't see anything, and it's too slick to climb up. Okay, just look at that view. And this is in the perfect spot. I'm sure that's why all the burros hang out here. This is really cool. Yeah, all you need now is a source of water right here, and you could stay right here. Yeah, you could level this off right here, put up a bunch of rocks, you know, to build the foundation, put a roof on it. You're good to go. You just need a source of water. Nice. And you got a view of the entire valley in case somebody wants to come up and say hi. Hey, you want to be my buddy? I don't know. What kind of buddy are you thinking about? I'm going to try to launch the drone from here, but I've only got like 27% battery left. So I may not get my drone back. So let me see what I can do. Because I remember I saw on the drone footage there's a really big cave. I can't remember if it's this one or if there's another one in the area. You remember that on the footage? Was it this one? Because I don't see anything. You see that? I mean, there's just nothing over here. So this is the only big cave that I see unless it's around the corner where fudge is made. All right, I'm gonna go combing around these hills, see if I can find something else, because if there's that much stuff here, they could have hidden stuff anywhere. Ooh, especially a box full of coins. Remember the story? Oh yeah, I've been chasing that one for years. Oh, but at least it's getting cooler out. But the problem with that is the sun's dropping. And when the sun goes all the way down, that's right, those things come out that we can't speak of. Blech. Oh, that's one of those funny looking airplanes that looks like a helicopter. I forgot what that thing's called. I know what that is. All right, let me go combing around these hills real quick. Well, we still have a little daylight left. So much to see, I'm telling you. If you get a chance, Get out here, get your boots on the ground, and look around. You'll never know what you're gonna find. And I still have a whole bunch of caves across the valley there. That whole top ridge line is a separate rock unit of limestone than the bottom one. And so it erodes away easier. And then I've got sandstone on the bottom. See all the bedding planes? At the end of this month, we're giving away a brand new Gold Monster 1000 metal detector, bags and bags of pay dirt from our drift mine, each with a silver bar. It looks something like this. Now, if you want to get your hands on any of that stuff, all you got to do is look for the little icon at the end of the video. It looks something like that. Click on it, make a $10 pledge, and you instantly qualify to get your hands on all that stuff. And I'll see you on the next video.